Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Alana. I play French horn in LA. I've gotten a ton of requests to do this, but today we're gonna be having a French horn spa day. I'm gonna be showing you how to clean your French horn, how to maintain it, how to oil it. I'm gonna walk you through everything you need to know to keep it running smoothly. But first, if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you love French horn, I make a lot of French horn content. And with that, let's get into it. All right, first and foremost, I'm just gonna put down a towel to keep things a little more organized. Then we're gonna start pulling our slides. So for the first slide, I'm gonna make sure I press down my first valve key as well. For the lower ones, if you have a double horn, make sure you're also pressing the trigger. So the slides on top are called your F valve slides, and the slides on the bottom are your B flat horn slides. Then I'm gonna flip the horn over. I have two slides I need to pull on this horn. You don't have to press any keys for these ones. So these are just our main tuning slides. And then I have this brass switch, which is like a little pencil holder that I need to make sure I take off. And now we're all set to take our horn to give it a little bath. I'm gonna use my kitchen sink for this, but you can use your bathtub if it's easier. This little guy is called a snake, and you want to make sure you get one that's specifically French horn sized, because sometimes they can be a little too big to fit down the pipes. But you can see there's two different sides to it. And then I'm going to turn on my water and make sure it's lukewarm, not too hot, not too cold. And I'm going to run it through the lead pipe. The lead pipe's this part right here where the mouthpiece comes into your horn. And you can't see it from this shot, but it comes out the other side in one of the open tubes. So you'll want to just run some water through your horn for a couple seconds here. And then we're going to take our snake and we're going to use the end that looks more like a triangle first. So that part is going to go through the horn first. You're going to insert it into the lead pipe right where you put your mouthpiece and push it all the way through the horn. And you'll see some water coming out the other end. And I'll give you guys a better angle of this in just a second because I know you can't see the other side. But the other brush will pop out at the end. You can see it there, and then we're just going to pull the other side of the brush all the way through the horn. This is going to get out all of the yucky stuff that's stuck in your horn. Then we're just going to run some more water through and make sure you run it for at least like 30 seconds to a minute. And we're going to wash off the snake just to make sure we get all the crusties off. And then we're going to do this all over again, push it through, same exact thing. I like to do this at least twice. Good, you can see it pop out. Keep pushing it through and then pull it all the way out. And you're going to run some more water through, and then you can run it through all of these tubes on the back side of your horn and dump them out. Perfect. And then to empty all the water out of your horn, you're going to want to turn it clockwise. So turn it in a couple of circles clockwise. You'll see it come out of the bell tail part of your horn. Just be careful not to like dent it on anything. Okay, now we're just going to towel dry off the horn. You want to make sure you try to get into as many of the nooks and crannies as you possibly can. There's always a lot of like little water droplets, and it can kind of eat away at your lacquer if you have a lacquered horn. All right, now that our horn is nice and clean, we're going to start putting it back together, but I want to make sure that these slides are really, really clean before we start doing anything else. So I'm going to just towel it off and try to get any residue off of these slides. I try to do this every 2 weeks, and then I oil my horn at least once a week. It's super important just to keep all of the nasties out of your horn, and then it also helps you play so much better. Whenever I'm having a time where I feel like I just can't play, I always clean my horn, and then it feels so much better and I feel like I can do anything. I'm going to link all of the products that I use down below, but I usually use the JM brand now. There are two different kinds of oils. There's synthetic and natural, so you really, really want to make sure that you're not mixing the two. So if you have a brand, just stick to that one brand. I'm going to go ahead and take off my valve caps and line them up just so I remember which one went where. This is what your valves look like underneath. And I'm going to take my lightest oil, so I use number 11, and it's going to just keep my valves moving really quickly. I'm going to put a drop or two on each of the tops of my valves. Then I'm gonna flip my horn over and we're gonna put a drop or two of the same oil in each of the right portion of the valves. So you should have 6 that you're gonna drop into. And then we're gonna wiggle our valves a little bit. As you can see, there's still a little bit of water, so I wanna get that out of my horn by turning it clockwise. It'll all come out the bell part. And then I'm gonna take the same oil, number 11, and put it into my tuning slide. You can't have too much of this stuff, so just pop it in wherever you can. It'll help keep things running smoothly. Then I kind of wiggle my horn around just so that it coats everything and spin my horn around again just to get rid of the excess. And then I'm going to take my bearing and linkage oil. This is number 13.5. It's a little bit of a heavier oil and it has a little needle because we're going to put it on the back of the horn. It's kind of hard to describe exactly where this goes, so I'm going to zoom in just a second so you can see a little bit better. But it basically goes kind of where the valve section meets where the arms go for your keys. I should really know the actual terminology at this point, but you can never have too much of this stuff. And as you can see, it really makes your valve super quiet. It's a must-have. All right, we're gonna put it all back together now. So I'm gonna screw my valve caps back on, make sure they're in the same order. I took them off. Now I'm gonna take my slide gel. This is like slide grease, but it's a little bit thicker. And I feel like it makes a better seal. So I like it a lot more than regular grease. I'm just gonna put little tiny droplets on each of the slides. And then I'm gonna flip it over and just put it on in. With the slide gel, you can have too much of it, so you wanna try to minimize the amount that you put on your slides. Sometimes I kind of work it into the slide like that. This is our B-flat first valve slide, and it's gonna be the smaller of the two. So anytime you see a smaller one, it means it's gonna go on the lower part of the horn. I'm gonna do the same thing and make sure I press down the right valves when I'm putting the slide in. If you don't put the correct valve down, you'll hear it right away. It'll make like a high pressure sound. So just pop it down if you forget. It should go in pretty smoothly. My horn's pretty new, so it takes a little bit of effort to put them in. The valves are pretty tight. And we're on to our last one, and then we'll be all done after this. Except of course my brass switch. I've got to put that back on. Thank you so much to Barb for sending this to me. Barb is in the Met Opera and she makes these brass switches. They're kind of like a magnet that attaches a pencil to your horn, and it's like the most amazing invention ever made. I wanted to show you guys this little pouch that Alexander sent me. It's the best. I keep it with me all the time. It looks good, right? I just love a clean horn so much. I have a concert tonight, so it'll be playing really well. I'm so excited. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe and leave me a comment below. Let me know what other French horn content you want to see. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye!